Good morning. I've been trying to figure out why I'm not as motivated to do this, and it just shows. I started this on the 31st of December, and I've been all fired up, and now it's about 21 days, 22 days later. So to my women out there, this episode is for you. If you're a man, I don't think you're really going to care about this because this is all about hormones. This is all about basically our set and our bodies and what's happening and why we aren't as motivated to do things and why it's not like we're failures. We're basically just needing a quick recalibration. And I think I'm someone who is always just gone like at one speed, no matter what time of the month it is. And I think that's what's really gotten me to this place and caused me this burnout. So I'm going to jump into like understanding or giving a little background as to what's happening inside of our bodies and our mind and why there's like a situation every 21 days or so. And if you're like me, you may be going through perimenopause or something because you're like, I've never been like this. Like, I feel like my hormones, my emotions, my feelings, my mindset is out of whack. Same. And did I ever think I would be someone on a podcast talking about your menstrual cycle? No, not one bit. But here we are. I feel like this matters, and it's helping me gain clarity as to why I am the way I am, why I think the way I think, and that's what this is all about. So the big core idea is your emotions, mindset, motivation, confidence, anxiety, creativity, and sense of connection, all the things I love, you love, are all shaped by neurotransmitters, which are the serotonin, the dopamine, the norepinephrine, the GABA. It's also shaped by our nervous system state, whether it's calm or it's threatened. And it's also shaped by hormones, which are estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. Hormones modulate the brain's wiring. How fast neurons fire, how plastic the brain is, how emotionally reactive you are, how safe or driven you feel. That's why the same women can feel confident and expansive in 1 week and then inward and sensitive or anxious another week without anything external changing. I truly believe that this is why I haven't wanted to record a podcast. Past couple days I've been dragging my feet, literally. I'm doing I turn my walk down so I can actually be present when I'm talking about this, because there's so many things that I've been thinking about, and I think this is definitely why, because I was like, how could I already be burnt out after 21 days? How could I already be over this? And it's I'm not over it. I just don't have, I've been so tired, more than usual, and I haven't been as moody. Maybe that's a plus for my husband, but I'm sure it's coming. But I wanted to get into, without talking about each of these neurotransmitters and all of that, I feel like that could get long. I wanted to ask, how do you maintain the highest frequency when you're on your period? When you're in your menstrual cycle and, it's that time of the month. How do we do that? So it basically gives me an answer about how it's not about maintaining that high frequency. It's about changing your frequency during that time. So I'm going to try to break this down as clearly as I can. First, what's actually happening to your body during your period, the biological side. It has that word again. Progesterone and estrogen are the lowest when you're on your period. Okay, that means your body has lower energy availability, higher inflammation, greater need for iron, magnesium, and rest, increased pain sensitivity, and slower recovery. Okay, so in your brain, what's happening when you're on your period? Less dopamine, which means less motivation or drive, less serotonin, which means emotions feel closer to the surface, reduced prefrontal buffer, so less less tolerance for nonsense, and then heightened interoception, where you feel your body more, okay? I want to explain too why this high frequency feels hard, like during this time where I'm like not in here all fired up, because most people define high frequency as like upbeat, social, productive, expansive, future oriented, which is very relatable to me. And that definition is estrogen based. And then when you're on your period, your nervous system is optimized for, this is kind of eye-opening for me because I'm still eager to learn. I'm just not eager to like create. So this is interesting. Your nervous system is optimized for awareness, truth detection, emotional honesty, resetting, conservation. So if you try to be on, your body's going to push back with being fatigued, being irritable, having brain fog, emotional overwhelm, which are all things I just experienced the past few days. And that's not low frequency, that is misalignment. So the real reframe, okay, is what can you do kind of during your period to, I don't know, get your mind to the best, like use that time wisely, I guess. It wants, high frequency during menstruation. High frequency during menstruation looks like quiet, grounded, clear, and honest. Think clean boundaries, deep intuition, emotional accuracy, fewer words, more truth, slower pace, higher precision. This is the phase where women see through illusions, realize what's not working, get their clearest nose, reconnect with their core values. It's a new sense of power, not loud power, but an actual real power. So how menstrual phase affects ability, not just mood. So what goes down? Your speed, your multitasking, your social stamina, your dopamine-driven motivation. All things I just experienced when I'm trying to do all this. I'm usually like up and at 'em. I'm usually like feeling awake when I wake up. But because I'm like so in tune with my emotions, I feel like I know it's coming. What goes up is pattern recognition, emotional intelligence, intuition, long-term thinking, and self-honesty. That's why forcing creativity or output often fails, but editing, refining, journaling, and meaning making thrive. Which again, why is like I haven't like taken these days off. I just haven't like produced, but I've like gotten so much out of these past couple of days where it's making me, that's what I'm saying, it's like it's making me question like, oh, maybe I should like take some days off to like journal, because it's like I'm doing what fills my cup. I'm doing what makes me feel good. And at this time in my life where that doesn't feel good, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do things that don't make me feel aligned. So that being said, that is why I'm doing this. I'm talking about this because I'm doing what makes me feel best. Here's some other things that you can do. How to stay at the highest frequency you can, but in the right way. So you have to regulate your nervous system first. So do slow walking, warm showers or baths, gentle stretching, breathe with longer exhales. This keeps cortisol from spiking and crashing your mood. You also need to how to like lower stimulation but raise intention. So you want to avoid overscheduling, loud environments, emotional labor for others, forcing social presence. Choose fewer distractions, deeper conversations, solo creation or reflection. That's incredible. That makes so much sense. All of those things that to avoid like are things that give me anxiety, and all the things they say to choose are things I just need to go like lean into. It says, ask yourself question, what feels heavy in my life? What am I tolerating that I shouldn't be? What actually matters right now? It also says support the body so the mind can follow. So prioritize iron-rich foods, warm grounding meals, magnesium, sleep, hydration, which again, I feel like I'm trying to do. I got so much sleep the past 2 nights, but I still don't feel like rejuvenated. It's like sleep is the natural healing medicine. Hydration is also up there. I need to drink more water. So I'm trying. So drop the performance identity. So this is huge. We need to drop the performance identity. This is something huge for my high achievers, my people pleasers, people who need to feel like they need to constantly perform to feel worthy. So if your sense of worth is tied to productivity, positivity, and always being on, your period's going to feel like a failure, which is what I've been feeling right now. I'm like, why am I like this? Oh, okay. If you change that and you tie your worth to alignment, honesty, self-respect, your period becomes a reset, not a disruption. So just to kind of wrap this up, your period isn't a low point, it's a recalibration point. And I think that means that high frequency during menstruation is listening instead of pushing, truth instead of performance, alignment instead of output. I also am just having this epiphany right now of while I'm talking, why I'm experiencing all of these highs and these lows is I've been pregnant since I was 31 years old. Pregnant, baby, breastfeeding. Pregnant, baby, breastfeeding. Pregnant, baby, breastfeeding. So I had babies at 32, 34, and 36. So I was nursing when I was 37. This awakening of where my body has been my own, where I have basically got my hormones back, where I'm not carrying a baby, I'm not feeding a baby, I'm getting my period again. This is crazy. That makes so much sense as to why this 38 year has been so massive for me, because it's I'm coming into my own body again. Since when I was 30 years old, that was the last time my body was my own. That's actually really freaking crazy to think about. That could have a lot to do with why I've had this awakening and why I'm going through all the things I'm going through. I probably would have had a wake up a long time ago had I not had 3 kids during that time frame. That's super interesting. And what else is interesting is, I'm obviously, I can understand now, I'm getting my period just because I can tell by my output. It's that's kind of a good indicator. If you have something that is an output, whether it's this or journaling. And I did journal yesterday, which was cool because I came home from teaching on my prep period and I was like, what can I do? I have so much I want to do right now, but I was none of them feel right. I ended up just sitting and journaling and then taking a 20-minute nap, and I listened to a video. That was all I wanted to do. That's so not like me, but it's also so not like me to sorry, I have a stretch over here. It's so not like me to, oh, this feels nice. To actually take the time, to have it for myself. So I'm proud of myself for actually making a conscious effort to be you know what? Do what you want to do. If it's not aligned, it doesn't make sense. And that has been my mantra this year. You know that is alignment. So if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. So making those Amazon returns didn't feel right in the moment. So I stayed home and I ended up journaling and I ended up taking a nap and I felt great. But yeah, my 2 thoughts on my journal were about creativity and 100 years from now. Should I read them? We'll wrap it up. I'll read them. Creativity. No, this is off topic. I'll save it for next time. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am just a girl trying to figure it out. And I hope if you are a woman, you are also figuring it out and we can figure it out together. And if not, this really helped give me a lot of clarity to understanding why I'm just feeling this now. Makes a lot of sense. Why I've gotten off autopilot, and I've thought for myself, I think it has a lot to do with hormones. So I'm actually going to look a lot more into hormones because I know I've been studying mindset and creativity and neuroscience and psychology. I'm gonna throw hormones in there because this is fascinating. So thank you for the insight and the clarity today. Hope everyone has a great day.